this is Jerwin.
This is Elma.
And Siopao. We're two Asians and a dog. We weren't originally comfortable sharing details about our rental properties, but we wanted to be completely transparent with you guys as much as possible. We know there are a lot of channels that tell you how to do things and give you all kinds of advice, only to find that the person telling you has no personal experience. So we are here to share our experiences with you guys so you can learn from everything we did right and also learn from our mistakes. Real estate is our favorite topic to discuss in our channel. So in today's video, we will go over our rental numbers on 3 of our rental properties. So if you're interested to see when we bought them, how much we bought them for, and all the juicy stuff, then you'll definitely want to keep on watching. We're two Asians and a dog, and our channel is about reaching our journey to 8/12/2024, which is our retirement date.
We will go over real estate investing, stock market investing, financial education, and some of our travels. Join us to our path to 8/12/24. And don't forget to stay till the end for Siopao's tip of the week.
The first property we will go over is actually the very first property Jerwin and I lived in together. For some privacy for us and our families living in the property, we will nickname the properties. The first property we will talk about will nickname the Flower House. Jerwin bought the Flower House on September 4, 2009 for $139,000. The home was originally listed for $150,000, but it appraised at $139,000. When this property was first built in 2006, it sold for $350,000. Obviously, this was before the real estate meltdown of 2008 to 2009.
Today, 2020, if we were to sell the property, it would sell for around $300,000. Now, we have no current plans to sell the Flower House. Our long-term plan is to actually rehab it, and we budgeted about $8,000 to $10,000 for rehab, which will allow us to increase the rent closer to $2,000 a month. That's right, spending $10,000 can potentially add $400 to our rental income. We also haven't increased the rent in over 2 years since the family living in there are amazing people and they have been so great to us. So we just want to return the favor.
Okay, so to make everything easier, we're only showing our gross income. Keep in mind we also have expenses for each property such as HOA, maintenance, taxes, and insurance. These vary too much, so it was easier just to put the gross amount.
And yes, the gross amount on these look really, really good. And we wish it was a net amount, but unfortunately it's not. But if you would like to get more details, like a detailed breakdown of each property, let us know in the comments and we can do a separate video detailing everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers for the Flower House. Like we said earlier, this property was built in 2006. It's 1,900 square feet with 5 bedrooms and 3 baths. We bought this property for $139,000. And our down payment was only $4,800 at 3.9% down payment. But if you remember from our previous video, I actually got a grant for $9,000 to buy this home. So technically, my out-of-pocket expense was just the inspection, which was $250. Currently, our loan amount is $100,000 and $400, and the current value we're projecting is around $300,000. So our current equity at this point is roughly $200,000.
All right, let's move on to the rent. We'll break it down year by year for you guys so you could see our growth with each property as well. So our current mortgage is $850. Starting with our very first tenant, the lease term was from 2014 to 2016, and the rent was at $1,350. Then our second tenant was in 2017, and we increased the rent to $1,512. Our current tenant's lease began with a 1-year lease term in 2018 for $1,547. They actually renewed their lease, and currently they pay $1,597. Our current gross rental income on this property is $746 a month. Now, we have done a few renovations and upgrades along the way. One of the major expenses we've had was replacing the carpet in the entire house. We replaced the flooring upstairs with vinyl planks and tile downstairs.
The second property we'll go over, we'll refer to as Townhome by the Park. This property, Elma has actually only seen one time, and the first time she saw it was when our agent took us when we first bought it. We purchased this home on March 30th, 2015 for $122,000. there was a young family living in there already. And fast forward 5 years later, that same family is still currently living there. The original owners bought this property for $124,000 in July 20th, 2009. Okay, so our future plan for Townhouse by the Park. Elma wants to sell it and do a 1031 exchange into a brand new home. Siopao and I want to keep it. And the reason we want to keep it is that there's an HOA in the community and they have done a wonderful job keeping the entire neighborhood nice and clean. Typically HOAs are a pain in the butt, but I feel like this HOA actually helps keep the value of our properties up. Also, the family has been there for 5 years and they have done such a great job taking care of the property. So let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers for Townhouse by the Park. So this property was built in 2009. It's 1,400 square feet, 3 bedroom, 3 bath. And like we said earlier, we purchased this property on March 30th, 2015 for $122,000. Our down payment was $32,000. The current loan value is about $84,000 today. And today we would estimate the property to be valued at $225,000. That means we have a total equity of $141,000.
Okay, so moving on to the rent. Let's take a look at the numbers. Like we mentioned earlier, we've had only one tenant in this property since owning it. Our current mortgage on this property is $505. Our first lease term for this property was from 2015 to 2018, and the rent was at $955. They renewed their lease from 2018 to 2020, and the rent increased to $1,085. Recently, they signed another lease renewal for 2020 through 2022 for $1,110. So our gross rental income currently is $605 a month. As far as upgrades and renovations goes, it's honestly been very minimal. When we initially bought this property, the backyard was just dirt. At the time, the family there had 2 young kids, so we landscaped the backyard with artificial grass and decorative rocks for them to be able to enjoy being outside.
Lastly, the third property we'll go over, we'll call the wedding house. We're calling it the wedding house because we were in the process of buying the house during our wedding. We were literally e-signing documents during the week of our wedding. And after our wedding, we enjoyed part of our honeymoon, renovating it, pulling nasty old carpet, and painting the entire house, and installing ceiling fans and fixtures. Sounds romantic, doesn't it?
We ended up buying the wedding house in 2016 for $174,000. When this home was originally built, it sold for $274,000 on May 3rd, 2006. Again, pre-real estate crash of 2008 to 2009. This was actually our first property we bought as a short sale. A short sale is a sale of a real estate property for which the lender is willing to accept less than the amount still owed on the mortgage. The entire process took about 6 months. Our future plan for the wedding house is to hold it for a very, very long time. It's a single-story home in a beautiful community that is literally close to everything. When we renovated it, we put brand new vinyl planks, which will last forever. And just last year, we put in all brand new stainless steel appliances. And like we said in a previous video, a single-story home in Las Vegas is a hot commodity. We also refinanced this at 3.5%, so we are definitely wanting to keep this for the foreseeable future. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers for the wedding house. This property was built in 2006. It's 1,235 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Like we mentioned earlier, we bought this house on July 29, 2016 for $177,000. Our down payment was about $37,000. The current loan amount is $133,000. Today, we estimate the property to be valued at $275,000. That's a total equity of $142,000.
Okay, moving on to the rent. Let's take a look at the numbers. This property is a bit complicated to follow as we had quite a few tenants at this property. The current mortgage on this property is $812. Let's start with the first tenant. The lease term was for 2016 to 2017. And the rent was $1,277. Our second tenant moved in 2017 to 2018, and we increased the rent to $1,325. In 2019, the tenant needed to extend the lease for 6 months or so we increased the rent to $1,410. Our third tenant on this property was a short-term rental in 2019. Because it was a short-term rental, we increased the rent to $1,500. The fourth and current tenant signed a lease from 2019 till currently, and the rent is $1,359. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, our gross rental income in this property is $547. So in total for this property, we've had about 3.5 families living there. I say 3.5 because we did let a family rent short term for about 6 months or so to help them transition into their next house.
All 3 properties combined, we owe approximately $317,000. We have $483,000 in equity in all 3 properties combined. And currently our rental income combined is at $1,898. It took time to get to this point, but we're happy with where we're at. Like we always say, whether it's the stock market or in the real estate market, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. Hopefully you guys enjoyed how transparent we are in filming this video. All right, so that is everything we have for you guys today. If you enjoyed watching this video and you found value in it, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to see more videos on personal finance, real estate, and stock market investing. Now it's time for Siopao tip of the week.
Siopao tip of the week. Make sure you're hyper organized when it comes to your paperwork. Whether you're doing a refinance or another purchase, the lender is going to require documents for all your properties. Documents such as your HOA, taxes, lease agreements, and lease payments. You'll thank us later.